Hello guys, and just before the new year, the Ukrainian armed forces have decided to make a very special present. For the first time in history, literally for the first time ever, a Ukrainian sea drone Magura V5 destroyed a target in the skies, in the air. And not just a target, but an expensive military helicopter of the Russian armed forces Mi-8, which collapsed directly into the Black Sea, and the second one was severely damaged. This happened for the first time in military history, when a sea drone destroys an aerial object. And that is a beautiful reminder: NATO also needs Ukraine. You know that during this period we cannot make fireworks in Ukraine, so we keep organizing them inside the Russian Federation. And Ukrainian drones set ablaze another Russian oil refinery in Smolensk, the one that was supplying Russian forces with oil products, but not anymore. And it seems like it was really loud in Lgov or Kursk region after a bright HIMARS strike, potentially -1 Russian general. So let's discuss all of these presents from the Ukrainian armed forces in the video. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and if you want to see the defeat and demilitarization of Russia and also protect yourself against the hybrid warfare, subscribe. We discuss all of that on the channel. And let's start with this beautiful and historic event when Ukrainian sea drone Magura V5 tonight destroyed Russian helicopter Mi-8. These are expensive military helicopters that cost millions of dollars, and this is a very important changing the history and military life event when a drone from the sea targets a flying object in the skies really high and destroys it, so that Russian helicopter collapsed into the Black Sea. How is it possible? Well, Magura V5 drones can be equipped with missiles, Sea Dragons, and with the help of these missiles, they can destroy evil Russian targets, like these helicopters. What is beautiful, the second helicopter was damaged and the conversation of the pilot with the base was intercepted. And it is amazing how surprised the pilot was, because he did not expect anything coming from underwater. And this is something they cannot intercept, they cannot stop, they cannot prevent, so they will keep collapsing. Ukrainian marine drones is an amazing invention that actually destroyed a lot of Russian warships in the Black Sea. We literally destroyed the majority of their Black Sea fleet, and the remains escaped to Russia, to Novorossiysk, where they actually belong. But in the result of this operation that many people have to remember, we cleared the Black Sea and we don't need the grain deal anymore. We don't need to negotiate with war criminals when we defeat them. And that is actually the plan for 2025. But before that, these marine drones were working with warships, with Russian patrol boats and other stuff. And for the first time in history, Magura V5 destroyed a flying helicopter and also destroyed another Russian hope. I think that's a beautiful message to the Russian army and to Putin, that you cannot win. And I think it's even not the time for them to escape. It's the time for them to collapse. So this historic event took place near Sevastopol in the temporarily occupied Crimea, close to Tarkhankut. And I think that this epidemic of falling Russian aircraft and helicopters will continue as Ukrainian drones will evolve. This is the future of the warfare. And Ukrainian skills, Ukrainian creativity is something that will definitely strengthen NATO. And something that NATO needs, taking into account that, North Koreans, Russian soldiers are training not just for the sake of training here in Ukraine. Please subscribe to see the defeat of all that evil regimes and also to demonstrate your solidarity with the people of Ukraine. So let's travel to Smolensk and continue our Russian geography lessons, where we discover more about their cities based on the destructions of military objects there. And Ukrainian drones paid a very expensive visit to another oil refinery there, and Yartsevska or something like that. And that is a big oil refinery with lots of depots for oil, and the one that was supplying Russian army at the front lines. You know, they used this period to try and advance. They also spend a lot of people, it sounds bad, but that's a Russian approach, and effort on the protection of Kursk region, where they failed together with their North Korean friends, and they need a lot of oil and fuel in that direction. And the destruction of oil refinery paralyzes Russian war effort, which is good, which gives more time for the Ukrainian armed forces and literally saves lives. So every Russian military object destroyed means lots of Ukrainian lives saved. And I think it's a beautiful strategy to follow in 2025. What is also interesting, it was very bright in the Lgov of the Kursk region, where precisely 5 HIMARS strikes destroyed a command point. And according to some rumors that we can confirm in the coming days, another Russian general, Smishko, was neutralized. You know that Kursk is an epic failure of Putin in 2025. Well, maybe in 2025 too, but in 2024 definitely. And for almost half a year, they cannot take the territory back, even with the backup of thousands of North Korean soldiers, which is a very vivid illustration. Russia can and will be defeated. As a classical bully, Russia is very vulnerable. It's not prepared to defend itself. It used to target and attack smaller countries, weaker countries, distract allies with hybrid warfare, but not this time. I hope the world is tired of Russia, of North Korea, of Iran, and that 2025 will at least start an end for all of these regimes. That is actually my New Year resolution. You know that in 2024, I have clearly realized that it's not about Ukraine, it's not about Georgia, it's not about Moldova. It's a world war, because the values we fight for are universal. And one part of this world stands for freedom, choice, democracy, and these are not just words. And another half of the world is about oligarchy, crimes, control, suppression, and total disrespect of human life, because in Russia, in North Korea, they treat people as resources. And that is another thing that makes me believe that no serious union is ever possible between the leader of the United States and the leader of Russia, because they stand for two very different paradigms. The one where human life is precious, and the second one we clearly see on the Russian front lines, how Putin loses his soldiers, and I think early in 2025 that will be 1 million of Russian and North Korean lives lost for nothing and sent to hell because of the crimes they committed. Let me know in the comments below, what is your greatest but at the same time realistic dream for 2025? And another question, do you believe that some negotiations took place between Russia and the representatives of Trump and that they actually failed? Because there are some such rumors based on some records of some Russian aircraft flying to the US and so on and so forth. So what do you think? Is it possible? And second, what is your dream, but realistic dream for 2025? And using this opportunity, I want to thank you from all people of Ukraine for the miracle of your kindness, of your support, of your understanding, love and friendship. We value that a lot. And when Ukraine is victorious, all of you are welcome here. And this will definitely be a better and stronger world. And may it start in 2025. In Ukraine, when we say Happy New Year, we say Щасливого Нового Року. Join me on X, join me on Blue Sky, on Threads, Instagram, and join our Discord community. Check our merch shop for lots of good items that work well as reminders and conversation starters about Ukraine. Thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channel. Thank you for your beautiful Christmas and New Year wishes. And I'm very grateful to have you in my life. I wish you a happy year with your loved ones. May your dreams come true. And may we see the justice served. Slava Ukraini!